Hey super friends, my name is Neil and right now we are about to dive in and watch the teaser trailer for Clayface for the very first time. Let's not waste any time about this. Let's dive in. Ugh. Okay, so there he is in his hospital bed. Mangled face. Nice. Very quick cuts to a much happier Matt Hagen. Some kind of surgical face mask. Okay, I see what we're doing. Ooh, first shot of a melty face. Nice bit of Gotham Street, some gory effects. That looked like an advert for Amusement Mile. Whoa, there's so much happening. Okay. Naomi Ackie. Oh, the big spiked hand. Very forlorn looking Matt Hagen there. Okay, I think that might be it. Are we clocking in at 1 minute? So that is a super fast trailer. It is 1 minute and 1 second, and that's including fade in and fade out. But there is so much to see on there. It's very cool. So with really not giving anything away at this point, we are just focusing on Matt Hagen in a hospital bed. Mangled face, clearly all bandaged up, and then smash cutting with these really quick burst images of him in happier times, what looks like the substance that he was probably injected with that caused the Clayface thing to happen. Later on in the trailer there is more to see. I'm pretty sure I just saw a reference to Amusement Mile in there, so we're gonna have to dive in deeper and watch again and try and figure that out. A few shots of just supporting players, quick shot of a GCPD cop car, a shop street, really nothing that gives us any context other than who he is, that he is an actor, and even that is not that clearly communicated here. We're really only being teased that he is someone and that he is going to go through something that is going to make him into Clayface. One very iconic shot of a shadow of the fist being raised with the spikes though, which is just like the classic Clayface. Very cool, very teasery. I consider me completely teased by that. I learn nothing other than that there is a very cool tone to this film based on this trailer. It does look pretty dark. It does look a bit like The Substance in that it's not going to be maybe jump scary, but it's still going to be creepy and it's still going to have that horror feel to it. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. That was a great first trailer. I am now going to dive in though, because I need to see whether there was Amusement Mile and stuff up close in there. So diving back in and just scrubbing through the trailer really quickly. There's not a lot to see in the first few short images that pop up. It really is just Matt Hagen in prettier, happier times, as Tom Rees Harris, being interspliced with this moment of him in the hospital bed. The second shot that cuts in is very clearly a red carpet somewhere. So you do get that first little snippet that he is an actor, he is someone who is quite prolific, but it's barely frames on screen. So it's not a lot to really gauge who he is. And then the next shot where he's having his face cut is interesting. I wonder if that is something that happens early in the film or later on. He's being held down by a couple of guys and one of them is literally cutting into his face whilst he is screaming. So whether that is before or after the transformation that remains to be seen, but could easily be somebody trying to maybe get a sample of his blood that they can use later to try and recreate the Clayface incident. The next one is this surgical mask which is clearly holding his face together. There is some scarification underneath there, so that looks really interesting. There's clearly going to be stages to how he tries to deal with this, and then that's when you then get this really quick set of images which includes these vials of chemicals and a syringe injecting directly into the face. Actually looks like it's being injected directly under his eye where the cut is, so maybe he was being held down in order for them to try and do the experiment on him. You do get a quick flash of some medical screens, but I can't make out anything on them that's kind of use. And then after that he looks a lot more forlorn. You see this version of his face where he is melting, and we're really starting to see how it's then impacting on him and he's losing his image. There is a creepy shot of someone, we don't know if it's him, it could be someone else, with their mouth sealing up, So maybe that is the idea that he's losing control over the ability. He doesn't know how to use it to begin with, maybe. And so he is just really struggling with it. It's Amusement Mile! So we see a character, as Naomi Akkie's character, wandering through an underpass in Gotham, and this sign behind is a clown's face. It's just got this sign that says excitement and thrills this way, Amusement Mile. So that's a nice little nod to wider Gotham. I wonder what else is in there. There is a shot of some really creepy clay that comes right after that as well. But again, absolutely no context to it. So maybe this is part of him being analysed by the people that did this to him. Very sexy shot of a spiral staircase. And then we're just into these final moments where we see his face at various stages of melting, giving nothing away. A nice wider shot of Gotham. There's a boat which you can see. There's one of the bridges of Gotham, and what you can actually see, just if you're paying very close attention to the details, is the rampart that goes down to the boat has got a sign on it that says the Narrows. So clearly we are going to different parts of Gotham City, which is very exciting. Can't make out any of the buildings in the background. There is also a shot of him in a hoodie. Again, no signage. It's a generic Gotham backstreet. We're not giving anything away there. Then, very quick set of shots, him and Naomi Ackie together, him punching a mirror, someone with a bloody eye, the GCPD car, and then once again that spike being raised up. After that, we're seeing very little other than this final shot of him in the bathtub looking very sullen when he wipes his whole face off. That is a trailer. That is a trailer and a half. I'm excited. I love that they have kept this to a teaser. They have not given us too much, even though this is a character that general audience doesn't necessarily know all that well. You know, they could have felt like they needed to give everything in one shot, but they haven't, which is great. So, very happy. Clayface coming to UK cinemas on October the 23rd. Cannot wait to see more. Stay tuned. See you next time. Thanks for watching, Super Friends. Check out more videos from across our YouTube channel right here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share on all your favourite platforms. See you next time.